Hey guys, it's JXX21 here, and today I'm going to go over my Traxxas Stampede 2-wheel drive. Now, this is a new vehicle that I got a little while ago, maybe a month ago, and it's, from the best of my knowledge, I know that it's not a vintage one, like one of the first series, but I know it's one of the second series. And there's a few things that I'll point out. So, I believe this was made up until 2008 that it came with this body on it. I'm not too sure. I'm just, off the top of my head, that's what I can think of. But let's take the shell off here and look at the inner workings. So, one of the first things you'll see is this XL5 ESC. This is one that I replaced it with because I wanted lipo cutoff. I do have the original ESC. I'll get into what my plans are for this a little bit later, but I do have the original ESC. The whole truck is original except for this front bumper. When I got it, it came with the RPM front bumper. I rebuilt the shocks because the shocks were leaking and had like barely any oil in them. So now I rebuilt them with 35 weight and they're pretty smooth. The servo's the original one, the receiver's the original one. I did modify this because, well, you can get these parts still, and I don't have the normal brace that goes across. So the receiver just sits up here. It is a 3-channel, not that it really needs it for this truck, but this is the original remote. It's the TQ. I mean, it works. It's not a bad remote in any way. The phone's still on there, and it's not like corroding. Well, it is, but not terribly. It still feels pretty good in the hand. It's got the telescoping antenna. It's always fun. Trim, yeah, it's just basic, on-off. These are the original wheels and tires. Now, these wheels and tires, they're getting old, and if you start touching them too much, you'll get this black stuff on your hand. You can see it on my finger right there. Yeah. They're kind of powdery, almost, I guess you could say. Like, there's a black powder that they give off. And that's front and rear. But they're pretty hard compound. I mean, they grip. They're not bad. But there are much better tires. Let's see. I took this whole truck. I took this whole truck apart and cleaned everything. I took the transmission apart, re-greased everything in there. And one thing that I find interesting is the idler gear is, well, it's not really that interesting, but the idler gear is plastic and the differential gear is plastic. Like, it's got the plastic housing, but then the teeth are also plastic. So that'll be an upgrade that I'll have to do for it. Let's see what else. It's got the old style gear cover without the telemetry hookup, which I actually prefer because it's a cleaner look. Alright, we'll just get rid of this stand. It's just a 4x4 on a piece of plywood rounded off. Alright, so yeah, these are the original drive shafts from what I know, and they're actually pretty good. Like you can see in the joints, they're not ovaled out or anything. But part of the reason why I know this is a second run of the truck, like the first changes they did to it, I believe at least, is the bearing, or bushings, my bad. The bushings in here are really small and tiny, and that's front and rear. So that gives some clue to it. Also, the use of hex hardware proves that it's not an original VXL that would be switched over, which, why would it be? Yeah, why would you switch it from a VXL to a XL5? Yeah, it's got the Talon tires on it. I believe that's what they're called. Yeah, Talon. Yeah, I know that screw's backing out. Don't bug me about it. These aren't the original A-arms. I actually changed them out because I don't want to break the original stuff on this. So I have the original A-arms, but other than that, it's a solid truck. I mean, it runs pretty good. I changed the gearing up a little bit. Yeah, I just threw a smaller pinion in there to help the motor out a little bit with the big tires. But yeah, it's still got the 2055 steering servo, the old receiver in there. What is it? A 2019. That's, yeah, 2019. That's the model number on it. So yeah, this thing is pretty cool. So now into what I'm planning to do with this. I'm going to upgrade every single part on this truck until I have 2 trucks. Now, if you don't understand that, basically, I'm going to take every part off of this truck and basically buy all new parts, including RPM. Like, for the A-arms, I won't buy more stock ones. I'll buy RPM A-arms, big bore shocks, some different shock springs if I have. Well, yeah, different shock springs so I don't use these and wear them out too much. Different chassis, get a black chassis from Traxxas, just so I don't have to dye it and then it gets scratched and there's gray underneath, like with my Rustler chassis. Get a VXL system in it, or maybe just a little bit more powered brushless system than this. Like, get a low power brushless system that just has around equal amount of power as this, or just a little bit more. Get a new gears in the transmission, new shock towers, new everything. Yeah, I'm going to rebuild this truck with new parts so that I'll have a new truck that I can bash on and completely destroy, and then I'll have this one nice and clean, and it'll be a shelf queen, but it will be run occasionally. So yeah, that about wraps it up for this video. I hope you enjoyed, and thanks for watching.